roles as acting director, I have been saddled with the responsibility of developing and promoting sports in the institute. And over the years, the National Institute for Sports was established in 1972 and came into formal business in 1974. And then since the establishment of the institute, we have churned out a lot of students who are making us and Nigeria proud in their various positions all over the country and across the globe. We are mandated, part of our mandate is the production of high quality or high caliber coaches and sports managers, and also sports research development in various areas of sports. And since I came into office after the unfortunate demise of the former director, I've been inundated with a lot of challenges, which range from lack of funds, inadequate sports equipment and materials, dilapidating infrastructure, which we are grappling with to ensure that we put them in shape for the interest of sports development. And then, particularly of interest is the issue of our program. We know that the glory of a king is the welfare of his people, and therefore we've taken the bull by the horn since we came on board this present management to ensure that our products are given the deserved respect and recognition that they deserve. And this borders on first our accreditation, our curriculum, and we have embarked on the accreditation of our programs. We have just concluded the first phase of our accreditation program by the NBTE, National Board for Technical Education in Kaduna. They just concluded the accreditation, the first phase in the first week of, in the third week of April. The curriculum critique was the first. We are hoping that the first phase will come on stream soon, because the promise they gave us was that they will come back within 2 weeks or 3 weeks after the first phase to conclude the second phase. And after the second phase must have been concluded, we believe that it will throw NIS into another realm of recognition, whereby we will enjoy benefits that other institutions of our ilk are enjoying from the TED Fund. And then we have also a group of students, the set of 2020-2021 have just been passed out, just concluded their course, and we are presently on admission of new students now. In fact, we've even started the session, the 2021 session, and we started on May 3rd this year. And then also we are also in the realm of trying to ensure that our programs are embraced by other institutions across the world, and therefore we intend to go into affiliation with some institutions around the globe, particularly Wolverhampton University, who have come to us to ask for collaboration so that we can have exchange of staff exchange and exchange of programs. And particularly of interest to know, sir, is the issue of funding. We are still grappling with paucity of funds, and we are thinking that we should spread our tentacles to our parent ministry. We should extend our COP to our parent ministry to ensure that we get more allocation. And also we intend to also meet with the committee to assist us in this regard. And particularly, we also wish to inform the committee that we are going into other programs like showcasing our products and other materials to the people around us, like the police, organizations and establishments around us, like the police, the army. Recently, the police approached the institute for a program of training they want us to go into to assist them in training trainers, and therefore they brought their proposal. We are hoping that by the time that is concluded, people will go to the place to organize seminar and workshop in order to sensitize their people on the recent development in sports.
The Army also.
And the Nigerian Army also has approached the NIS for training. So that is in the pipeline. So these are some of the areas that we are working on. And earlier I highlighted some of the problems we are facing. And we hope that by God's...
Practically, you know, about your activity at the Institute. You make me think that the Institute have not been enjoying big recognition from government. I thought you were the sole people who train athletes for Nigerian government, you know, both coaches, etc., etc. But it's still good that you are making extra effort to get more recognition. But you also mentioned one thing about paucity of funds. You are not being well funded. I want to find out how much have they been giving to you in the past that they have been using for this that be sufficient? And if they have been giving you such money, have your allocation been cut, or you have more activity and you need more money? We need to know that. You need to be clear as to what you have been giving in the past, what you have been using the money for, and why do you need more money now? That's one. The second one is, it is good that you are now getting the police, Nigerian Army, etc., to contract you to train people for them. Are you doing it for free? Are you charging them? Let us know, so that, you know, this committee can know what your sources of income are, to know how to help you. Thank you.
Every single agency in Nigeria will make the same complaint. But I would think that you should be creative in your marketing. You market your product. In a sense, you're already in the right track with the military. Why not get private businesses? For example, the football clubs. You can train, you can do partnership with them to generate more funds. Because right now the government is struggling to get funds. So if everybody is struggling from the same post, you have to be creative. You have to think outside the box, how to generate funds. You're supposed to be the greatest training institute for sports in Nigeria. We have a lot of youth out there. And there is lack of awareness, honestly speaking, of your institute. Because if you make that awareness known all over Nigeria, there are some people that will, maybe they have kids back home, and they will send them to come to your institute. So the awareness, I was checking through your website, and honestly speaking, I wasn't impressed with the website because I couldn't get enough information there. So you have to do a lot in terms of awareness. You have to sell yourself. You have to sell your product, market it, find a way to partner with DSTV, all these multinationals, and see how you can generate funds. That's my contribution, Mr. Chairman.
I want to believe that the management of the institute, they have not been doing enough to take the institute to the level it's supposed to be. Because I believe that you don't even know the worth of what you are having in your hand. As at today, the institute is the only one enjoying the monopoly as being the National Institute of Sports. And you are now here complaining of a lack of funds, thinking of how to get more funding from the ministry, which I don't think is possible. With what you have on hand, if you are really ingenious about how to develop the institute, sporting activities, sporting all over the world is big business. If, like, you have students, you are not training the student for free. First of all, I will expect you to do something to ensure that you increase your student enrollment. Reach out to organizations, reach out to paramilitary, reach out to police, reach out to immigration and all other, government agencies to increase your enrollment. If you increase your enrollment, you get more funding. And I still believe if you embark on some other activities, sporting festivals and some other things, you seek for sponsorship from private institutions, you get money. But if you are sitting down there and you're expecting that you get money from the military,
you are the only institute of sports in Nigeria. You should be a revenue generating institute. Other institutes like you, the world over, are making so much money with the values, the academic qualifications they're dishing out. I believe you need to look more into the private sector. If you can actually engage multinational companies, start a program on how to train their staff for fitness training, daily fitness training, start a course for private companies, multinational companies, that you actually have a course that goes for only 1 month. You train private company staff on how they can do morning fitness training when the whole country is opened up again. Across private universities, private secondary schools, start that sort of program for them as well, where their early morning fitness courses are done by you. Engage them. That is a source of revenue generation. I believe your institute has what it needs to generate revenue. You're just not moving out of your comfort zone. You need to move out of that comfort zone and go to those institutions, companies and schools and tell them what you have to offer and sell your product very well. If you can sell your product very well, they will be interested and you will generate the right revenue. Because the situation we are in now, the federal government doesn't have enough funds to just dish out money to anyone. We are basically going to be concentrating on critical infrastructure. And when I say critical infrastructure, it's going to have to do with things like roads, water, health. I don't think the government is going to be thinking, let me put a lot of funds in sports right now, because everyone knows that sports is a business in other countries, and we need to start indoctrinating that mantra in Nigeria as well. We need to start using sports to generate the right funds. You have a monopoly in training and coaching. You should use that monopoly properly. I'll yield the floor to you now to answer the questions of the honorable members. Thank you.
Things were rosy for the institute, because what we were generating then, maybe 12 million naira allocation every month, and gradually the thing dwindled. The thing started dwindling. The thing was reduced, was slashed from 12 to 10 million, from 10 million to 8 million, and it stabilized for some time, and suddenly it just dropped to 3 million. So how could we do anything with that, sir? And the school fees that we charge, the students, we have limitation on whether to increase or not to increase, because we have a government council. We cannot we regard sports as a social responsibility, sir. So even if we say we will increase school fees, the students will grumble, and they will just quickly make recourse to the government, some members of the council, and say, come on, the management is trying to increase fees. So because of that, we couldn't increase fees. So we grappled with that for quite a long time, sir, before the thing was raised recently to 12 million again, sir. Just about 2 months ago, raised to 12 million. And we have huge debts on ground that we've been servicing. And so when the money comes, a large chunk of the money, sir, goes for debt rescheduling or debt settlement. So there won't be enough to run the institute. And for some of the programs we've been having, sir, for example, the one I highlighted earlier for the police and the army, sir, it's not as if we are doing the thing for free. They have brought a proposal and they wanted us to bring to assist them with our resource persons. They want to mount the program in Lagos, Police College Ikeja, and Police College Kaduna, and our staff will serve as resource persons, sir. So we're going to build them, give them a bill of how much it will cost them, and they've told us they are ready to do it. And we've always done that in the past, sir. Some organizations and groups, clubs, associations, they've always approached us for training their staff, or training of their staff. And we've always organized trainers workshops for them all over the country. And we charge, what we charge is we charge partly sum of money, because we felt that if we build them, they will go to some other organizations, because we have some other organizations, private organizations that run courses or seminars. They teach courses, seminars on sports, so they prefer to go to such places. And so therefore, sir, we are still going to address that situation. And also in terms of sports sponsorship and marketing, we have been involved in marketing for a long time, but we don't have the opportunity of sponsorship, adequate sponsorship, sir. If we add organizations like Dangote and other very big companies coming to our aid, we'll smile at the end of the day. So we are still trying to reach out to some well-meaning Nigerians, some corporate organizations. We've even inundated our governing council with a request of assisting to help us attract sponsors to the institute, sir. And up to now, as I speak with you, we've not had any big sponsorship from within or outside, sir. And then concerning partnering with multinationals, we'll address that. Will be addressed, sir. We'll look inwards. This management will try its best to see what it could do to attract, to go into partnership or collaboration with some institutions, with the aim of at least boosting our effort and also, sir, and our revenue base too, sir. Because that is very. We are not unmindful of the fact that government cannot do everything, and that is why government has always told us that we should look inwards to see what we can do to generate funds. And this global pandemic that ravaged most economies of the world, sir, has really affected us, sir. There's no doubt about it. Now our facilities that we give out, we let out, sir, that we have been generating money from, they have been they have not been used for some time now. They have been locked down because of the coronavirus pandemic. It's only sporting activities that are allowed in the stadium now. And when they come, they always ask us, give us the bill, give us. And because of the fact that we've not been generating funds, we'll just quickly talk to ourselves and say, see, let's just collect small money, little money from these people so that we can have something to keep. And we are hoping that by His grace, that the issue of the global pandemic will fizzle out, and then the normal business activities will resume, and so we can generate more funds, sir. And then another thing I would like to speak on, sir, to address some of these issues is the issue of accreditation. There is no doubt, sir, that it is incredibly devastating to note that this non-accreditation of our programs has really affected the number of students that we admit on a yearly basis, because they have been having problems with placement at their various organizations, sir. Some states have written to us that they found it difficult to place our graduates on any grade level, whatever, because they said our program is not accredited, and going by their own rules or laws, state civil service rules, that they find it difficult to place them. And that is because of the issue of non-accreditation of some of them. And that is why we've started this. When I came on board, I quickly summoned the management meeting and told my people that, see, we need to take this issue of accreditation, we need to take it serious. And so therefore, we set aside everything that we needed to do. Even some debts we needed to settle, we put them on hold and say, see, let us call in MBTE to come and look into this our curriculum and see what they can do. And that was why we held the first phase, which was easily concluded. So we've paid about 6.2 million to MBTE for accreditation of our programs. Now,
One stage.
That is for one stage of the program. This thing is going to go up a lot of money, sir. And so we are hoping to have them in our place soon. In the next 2-3 weeks, we have them to come and complete.
Once we are through,
once we are through, sir, our institute will be placed under JAMB, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. They will be the one to admit students, and we'll have a lot of students to admit at that time. And that will increase our revenue base, sir. And then we'll be running national diploma courses and higher diploma courses. Once that is done, this accreditation is going to bring a lot of, it's going to open a lot of doors economically for us in terms of our revenue base and other things. And it's going to also showcase us to the outside world as a serious organization, because the students that have been complaining will find no reasons to come again. And we are still praying to God that all these things should be completed.
Thank you, Director.
Yes, sir.
Some of the roles you should be playing. Are these companies that multinationals are going to engage, are they accredited to do that? Where should they get their accreditation to actually engage in those sort of functions that should be for your institute?
Once they have fitness center, for example, in Federal Palace Hotel Lagos, they have a fitness center there that people, even with people from all over Lagos and outside Lagos, patronize. I remember when I was running my master's degree program in Unilag.
Yes, let me explain what I'm saying to you. You see,
Yes, sir.
I think at this point,
Yes, sir.
you need to look into how you will insist that any personal trainer, anyone that wants to train people on a fitness regime,
On the license to do
must
that.
be licensed or accredited by your National Institute of Sports. That is a way to actually regulate.
Yes, sir.
Not that anyone just wakes up and says, I'm a fitness coach and I'm going to train people. They will have to be accredited by you, and they have to pay an annual fee.
Yes, sir.
You need to think outside the box. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I hope you understand.
I understand you, sir.
You need to start drawing up that sort of law
Yes,
that
sir.
will be something that anyone that wants to engage in fitness training
Yes, sir.
must be registered under you.
That is some of the provisions of the accreditation thing, sir. Accreditation will address that issue, sir. And whoever engages in such a thing will be liable to prosecution, sir. It's already there. Yes, sir.
I want to understand. Joint thing you said, you people are already, they are interested in your institution. I would like to know what exactly you people are planning on doing with Wolverhampton.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, about 3 years ago, we, through the regional representative of Wolverhampton, approached National Institute for Sport on possibility of collaboration with Wolverhampton in the area of faculty exchange, in terms of staff exchange, whereby our staff goes there to go and understudy the system, while they also come here. We collaborate in international research on sport-related matters.
Exchange program.
And that's exchange program. I think an international joint seminar, a sponsorship, whereby you come here, we assemble the stakeholders in sport, we organize it, and at the end of the day, there will be a kind of a sharing, profit sharing formula between NICE and Wolverhampton. But when it got to a point, there was problem when this issue of insecurity came in. So they were supposed to come to Nigeria at a point in time, but around that time the British government issued a kind of a call the citizen to order that they should not visit certain areas in the country. Although Lagos was not part of that, at that moment we couldn't move on because we wanted to use that particular joint seminar to test run our relationship. We already started a kind of a proposal, but we could not seal it. But incidentally, one of the people actually led them to the contracts at that time, one Mr. Lawrence Fowry, just called recently, that they wanted us to collaborate in the area of pathway programs that would lead into admission into foreign university. We told them that that one is not our area of priority. Our priority is sports based, And we're still interested in what we plan with Wolverhampton University at that time. So he now promised that they are going to help us to shop around for university with sport pedigree, so that we can start off what we are also planning to do with Wolverhampton. He just sent mail this morning on that to schedule a kind of meeting, what's it called, the online Zoom meeting with the management of National for Sport. So we have told them that we want to know the background of the university that is coming, so that we be able to know to what extent can we benefit from that kind of university or whatever arrangement. That's the stage we are at the moment. We're actually looking for...
Let me cut you short on that.
Okay, sir.
You don't need to be a university. All that you need to do is have a relationship with them, and whatever course that university is doing, it will be like an exchange program or like your satellite university. They will offer the course. You will just basically have admissions here. You do the tests or exams for people that will now be going there to study. So you don't need to necessarily be a university in Nigeria. You can still work with them, and they will be the university for you. Just be the institute that is actually doing the exams, admission exams for people that will now eventually go to that university where it is.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, we are not even aspiring to be a university. We want to remain a sport professional research institute. And in that area, we want to have like now, NBT is regulating our program at ND, HND level. But that does not stop us from having a BSc coaching in affiliation, relationship with them. We are not going to award the certificate. The certificate will be awarded by them. So, for instance, they may have this first 2 years in Nigeria under the auspices of National for Sport with the supervision of the affiliated institution, where they may complete the second phase, which is the 2 years in either Britain or whatever. So those are some of the things we want to do. But the reason why I actually went for NBT program is to take care of the local yearnings that are people that graduated are not getting appropriate placement in the federal civil service. That's the local peculiarities. But relating to other things, you can also still mount postgraduate diploma program, masters in quotient, in fitness exercise, and in aerobics, and also in concert with the affiliated university. That's our plan, sir.
You are looking to train sportsmen. Before you know, everybody is applying. Oh, I couldn't get a polytechnic to go to audition. Then they apply to your place. People don't even have interest in sport. You give, they go through it with certificate. It will be worthless. I think you should continue to emphasize people who are interested in one sport or other, physical sports, or the other, or who want to train as coaches and that kind of thing. That's the area you need to emphasize. But if you just open your door for everybody to come here as if you are a general polytechnic, then they would have lost the purpose of setting your weight. Just one. Then the second, I'm thinking, you have enough land, everything there. You have hostels. I don't know, Mr. Chairman, whether they cannot have a football academy, where you train people coming as young students who will enter through JAM, who are very good in sports, and then you train them, and then you can sell some of them. Later, when they finish, when they are with you, start an agreement with them, you sell them, and you make money. Those are additional source of income, because you already have the facility, and you have the name to do that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
In sport alone. At the ND level, we doing ND coaching, football, various sports. A lot of sports will be combined together. But at the HND, the person will not specialize in a particular sport. It's actually people that are interested in sports that we are going to enroll.
In addition, sir.
Thank you.
My question is, you said something on research.
Yes.
I want to know what exactly what research are you embarking on? Because sport right now is a very intractability business.
Scientific.
A lot of research is going into sports. So I want to know what areas are you looking at?
Okay. In the area of research, we are thinking of conducting research on the fitness level of people, particularly sportsmen and women. We want to conduct research on the type of nutrition they ought to take before they engage in sports. We want to conduct research on areas of management, particularly sports marketing, so that because we feel that sports has become a global business, and it has gone scientific, and therefore it's not enough to just say.
You answered my question to a certain level.
Thank you.
I want you to really focus on that.
Yes, sir.
Because that can really generate a lot of ideas.
Exactly, sir.
It can. The research, the world moving beyond. A lot of people are being paid money.
Yes, sir.
For research, sports research.
Yes, sir.
You said something on nutrition.
Yes, nutrition.
Sportsmen don't eat anyhow anymore because of the testing
Yes, sir.
that happens.
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir.
Different type of people.
Yes, sir.
So if you have that
Yes, sir.
course, and someone can come and study it,
Yes, sir.
you become a professional in that field.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to really focus on the research.
Thank you, sir. Noted, sir. Noted, sir.
We've had a very robust meeting today where the National Institute of Sports explained all their challenges with funding, and the committee has deliberated with them and explained that in the post-COVID era, we expect the National Institute of Sports to start generating a lot of funds so that their institute can be world-class as it has always been. You need to revert back to being the only premier institute of sports in Nigeria, and you need to be able to generate enough funds. And your accreditation, as you have mentioned, is very vital. The committee is going to work with you to make sure your courses are accredited, and we're going to be engaging you regularly until your act is amended to be in tune with 21st century sports research science. On this note, I'll tell you, expect a member to move motion for adjournment of this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With regards to Nigeria's Institute of Sports, I wish to move that this meeting should stand adjourned. Stand adjourned. Thank you.
Dr. Jimmy Adeniyi, Acting Director, National Institute for Sports, Surulere, Lagos. Part of the reasons I actually were invited by the House Committee on Sports. The principal officers of the institute were invited by the National Assembly House Committee on Sports to brief the committee on the challenges that the institute is having, and to see how the committee could help to boost the image and to boost the revenue base of the institute. I want to tell Nigerians that having met the House Committee on Sports and having listened attentively to their observations for a new revitalized, a new brand E-NASS, we ought to from now think out of the box. We take the bull by the horn, because sports is a global business and sports has gone scientific. So we'll see what we can do to ensure that we up our game and then take E-NASS to the great height that it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, going by the global pandemic,
yes,
which has been a challenge to everyone,
yeah.
how do you intend to glide over the challenge?
Well, we are all aware that the global coronavirus pandemic has done a lot of havoc to economies of nations and to social lives of people So on our side as an institute, we are hoping that the post-coronavirus pandemic will usher in a new lease of life, and then we also make us achieve all our objectives. One of the things we intend doing is to go into aggressive advertisement to let the world, particularly Nigerians, know that E-NASS is now open fully for business, and to also assure the teeming Nigerian populace that sports is now has now bounced back, and we all need to brace up to the challenge, encourage our wards, encourage our friends, encourage our families to key into the new post-COVID-19 era. And the Institute, we want to ensure that our admission process is improved. By now, we expect that Nigerians should apply for courses on sports management and coaching, and then seek admission into E-NASS. And I can assure you that the sky will be our limit in what we will achieve after this COVID-19 whatever must have fizzled out. We are seriously hoping that by His grace we will achieve all our dreams for a new E-NASS that we are all praying for.
The National Institute of Sports and Research Science is a training and coaching institute that needs the proper accreditation for its courses. Some of their courses are undergoing accreditation now. Some of them are already accredited. I believe if and when all their courses are accredited, they will be able to actually generate more funds by training and educating more entrants, because with that, people will have more trust in their courses, knowing fully well that after you graduate from National Institute of Sports, you will be readily acceptable in any our oversight function is 24/7, 365 days a year. We're going to give them a month or 2 months, and then before the budget is laid, which is October, we will be going to oversight them again. We did a visit to them last year, late last year, and we're going to be going back there to see how far they've gone with all we instructed them to do today to be able to improve their institution.